This is Zafar Abundance Wala, and you're watching Global Abundance Organization Television, GAO TV. And today, this is Mindset Bootcamp Day 25. First principle moonshot thinking. Hello, Zafar. Welcome to day 25. Yesterday, we covered that moonshot is and is not, but how do you put yourself in the right frame of mind to even come up with moonshot idea? It starts with thinking from first principle. In today's lesson, we'll look at how to think from the first principle with a bit help of Elon Musk. Starting with first principles. As you learned yesterday, moonshots are all about going 10x, bigger or better. For example, suppose I were to ask you to take a car from 50 miles per gallon to 55. In that case, you might be able to do that by making incremental improvements, better aerodynamics, lighter material, better tires. But I ask you to take a car from 50 miles per gallon to 500 miles per gallon. That would require a completely new clean sheet design. To get that kind of 10x change and growth, you must question all assumptions you previously relied upon and took for granted. Moonshots are scary because of bold they are and how uncertain the path to reach them is. And that's very first principle thinking comes in. First principle thinking is a mode of inquiry borrowed from physics designed to relentlessly pursue the foundations of any given problem from fundamental truths. It works so well because it gives you, as an entrepreneur, a proven strategy for editing out complexity and sidestepping the tide of popular opinion. To see first principle thinking in action, let's hear from Elon Musk. What you can learn from Elon? Elon Musk's entrepreneurial success directly result from his mindset, strategies, and intelligence. Having known Elon Musk for 20 years, I have had opportunity to watch his meteoric rise into someone who is arguably the most outstanding entrepreneur of our age. And a key strategy in his success has been starting with first principle. Elon has deployed thinking strategy to give himself an unfair advantage when developing new batteries, a key component for Tesla and Solar City. Here's Elon describing first principle thinking in an interview with Kevin Rose. First principle is a physics way of looking at the world. You boil things down to most fundamental truths and say, what are we sure is true? And then reason up from there. Somebody could say batteries pack are costly, and that's just way they will say they will always be. Historically, it has cost $600 per kilowatt per hour. It's not going to be much better than that in the future. With the first principle, you say, what are your materials constituents and batteries of the batteries? What is the stock market value of the material constituents? It goes, it got cobalt, nickel, aluminum, carbon, some polymers for separation and seal can. Break that down on material basis and say if we bought that on London Metal Exchange, that would reach, that would each of those things cost. It's like $80 per kilowatt per hour. So clearly, you just needed to think of clever ways to take those materials and combine them into the shape of battery cells, and you can have batteries that are much cheaper than anyone and then anions realize than anyone realizes. First principle in your business. So how can you apply first principle thinking to your current business? Or if you are thinking a new venture, where can you apply first principle to reframe, reframe the industry current business model completely? How does learning about the first principle influence the moonshot ideas you came up with yesterday? Tomorrow we'll take another critical step towards developing your moonshot mindset, shifting your perspective about failure, your perspective about failure. See you tomorrow, Peter. Okay, Shuja, any question, and let me know what did you learn today.
Yes, sir. No question, but key takeaway. Number one is moonshots require 10x thinking, not 10% improvement. Example, for example, मिसाल के तौर पर improving fuel efficiency from 50 mpg to 500 mpg needs a completely new design, not just tweaks. Number two, first principles thinking means breaking a problem down to its most basic truths, ignoring assumptions, and reasoning from scratch. Number three is Elon Musk uses this mindset, innovate at Tesla, SpaceX, and more. Instead of accepting the batteries are expensive, he found their core materials and realized they could be way cheaper with better design. Number four is as an entrepreneur, you must ask, what am I assuming to be true? What if I rebuild the idea from zero? How can I reimagine this entire business or problem? So, main messages in today's in day 25 is to build something extraordinary. Stop thinking like everyone else. Use first principle to challenge what's normal and create solutions that are truly breakthrough. So, this is what is in.
Okay, Elon says if you want 10% improvement, work on optimization. If you want 10x growth, rethink the problem from scratch. That's the first principle. Okay, what we learned today on day 25, we explored one of the most transformative mindsets used by the top innovators like Elon Musk, first principle thinking. It is not about making small changes, but it's about making bold reinvention. First principle, breaking problems down into their raw, undeniable truths, then rebuilding from the ground up. Instead of accepting assumptions like batteries are expensive, that's just how it is. We now ask, what are batteries made of? And what do those raw materials actually cost? The result, a game changing shift in perspective from what's possible to what's truly fundamentally true. So the key takeaways for today are: think like a physicist, break it all down. Questions, assumptions. Don't build on broken beliefs. Rebuild from truths, even if it is disruptive, even if it disrupts the whole industry. Apply this to your business or moonshot idea, not just to solve problems, but to reshape them entirely. How this fuel your moonshot mindset? Moonshot thinking isn't about tweaking what's already been done. It's about reimagining the impossible, and first principle is mental rocket fuel to get there. Tomorrow's mindset gonna be redefining failure as fuel. Okay, so stay tuned, reflect deeply, and let's rise your let's let your moonshot rise from the first truth. Okay, any question do you want to ask?
No, sir.
Okay, it was great having you both, and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Okay, life is